All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the show. I'm your host, Josh Reeves. It's Friday, January 3rd, 2024. This is the first episode of 2025. I said 2024. It's Friday, January 3rd, 2025. Jesus. I know. I haven't gotten used to saying it yet. I haven't gotten used to it. It's 2025. My goodness. This year will be the peak of Solar Cycle 25. We just saw the warm-up for Solar Cycle 25 in 2024, and it was crazy active. Solar activity ramps up with 3 X-class and over 20 M-class solar flares in 24 hours. Yeah, it's the sun is continuing to ramp up. You don't have the fact that it might be winter time wherever you live, but or whatever season it is wherever you live, but the solar activity is ramping up. This was interesting. Heat is radiating from a huge mass under the moon. Remember what I told you in my film, The Inside World? Edmund Halley and his nested spheres. The moon, long considered a cold and barren landscape, has just revealed a fascinating new secret hidden beneath. Excuse me. No. Excuse me. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm skipping too far ahead here, too fast, getting into the news. I got some other stuff I need to talk about before we get into the news anyway. So, this is our fundraising week, folks. And, we had to raise $900. That's how short we are. We've raised some, but we're $900 short. We have to raise $900 by Monday. Dayglow76@yahoo.com on PayPal to donate. Reeves Radio, all lowercase, one word, Reeves Radio on the Cash App. Capital J, Josh, dash, capital R, Reeves, dash, 61 on Venmo. And all you can do is buy downloads, just please do that. My 2 newest films are a series, The Rise of the New Age, Part 1, The Lemurians, Part 2, Blavatsky and Theosophy. Both of those are in the download store now. Please buy downloads of those. And any of the other 32 films I've made in 2024 that you haven't seen yet, please, it's crucial that you buy those downloads now and donate. And as I've mentioned before, the big problem we're having is everybody thinks, oh, I don't have to donate because somebody else will. Somebody else will donate, so it doesn't matter if I don't. Somebody else will. That is what's killing us. It's that attitude. Everybody has that attitude that somehow, well, I can skip contributing because somebody else will take it. That everybody takes on that attitude, and then that's how we get to where we've been the last year. Your contribution is as important as any. Don't ever think for a second, oh, I don't have to contribute because somebody else will. That is what leads me to being close to death, close to going under, close to being on the street. 900 is what we have to raise by Monday. Everybody that contributes $100 between now and Monday will get 10 movie downloads of their choice. You just have to email, after you make your contribution, you have to email my contact email address, globalrealityshow@gmail.com. That's globalrealityshow@gmail.com. Send me an email. Send me your 10 download choices, or if you need the film list sent to you beforehand, just drop me an email after you make your contribution. $100 or more between now and Friday. Now and Monday, rather. Between now and Monday. And I'll send you 10 movie downloads of your choice, alright? And the highest contributor, $400 or more. You know who contributes $400 or more will be, and if you end up being the largest contributor for the month, you're going to get a nice prize for that. So, but buy some downloads also so I can eat okay, because any contributions we get, I can't spend any of that to save every penny of that to go towards the operating costs. And like I told them last show, I've eaten twice in the last week, so I've got to get my medication prescriptions refilled next week, and I don't have the money for that either. Because, I don't have insurance, and all this stuff comes out of my own pocket, but, I'm just trying to not wind up in the hospital again, folks. I can't do that again, because being in the hospital for as long as I was and being off and not doing shows and everything, it really hurt me. I still haven't recovered from it. Was already not doing good, but then that happened, and it just made things worse. Because for some reason, after I went to the hospital, some people who were supporting my work have not been, and it sucks. But if I was a drug addict or an alcohol addict or something, and I put myself in the hospital for stupid shit, it'd be one thing. I didn't. I'm not. I quit drinking in 2011. And other than, psychedelics when I was younger and, weed and stuff, I've never been a drug guy. So, it's not like how I did this to myself was making 32 films last year. I just, couldn't stop, had to keep going. I do regret it. I'm not gonna lie, I do regret making 32 films last year. I do regret it. Because I basically made the rest of my filmmaking career in this genre. I like all the films that I would make for the rest of my life. I made them all last year. It is crazy. I do have one more installment of the Rise of the New Age series coming for you. So the first two parts are out now. First two films are out now. Get those in the download store. This is a short film series. The first one is The Lemurians. The second one's out now. Is Blavatsky and Theosophy, and then there will be a third one coming out very soon also. But like I said, we got to reach $900 by Monday is what we got to have. So just everybody, if you're listening on YouTube, wherever you're listening on, if you want to hear the regular, sometimes I post shows on YouTube. If you want to hear all the shows now, the way to hear all the weekly shows now is through Patreon. So patreon.com/Reeves Mafia. So join us on Patreon if you haven't. And we just started the Patreon towards a few months ago, so I'm going to really be working on the Patreon a lot more in 2025, and there'll be a lot more exclusive stuff you can only get there. There's already some, some movies in there as well. So, get a membership to the Patreon, patreon.com/Reeves Mafia, and you'll be doing a lot more in that space in 2025. That's where you can hear all the weekly shows now. All right. The moon, long considered a cold and barren landscape, has just revealed a fascinating new secret. Hidden beneath its far side lies a massive heat-emitting feature that has scientists buzzing with questions. This isn't just any ordinary discovery. It involves a rare geological phenomenon typically associated with Earth. How could a body with no plate tectonics or water create something so unexpected? What does this mean for the moon's history and its volcanic past? As researchers dig deeper into this puzzling find, they're uncovering clues that could reshape our understanding of the moon and perhaps even other rocky worlds in the solar system. In a groundbreaking revelation, scientists have identified a substantial heat-emitting granite mass beneath the moon's surface, specifically near the Compton and Belkovich craters on its far side. This discovery was made possible through data collected by both Chinese and American lunar orbiters, which utilized microwave frequency observations to detect subsurface temperatures. Dr. Matt Siegler of the Planetary Science Institute explained, "We used an instrument that observes microwave wavelengths longer than infrared, sent to the moon on both the Chinese Chang'e 1 and 2 orbiters. We found that one of these suspected volcanoes, known as Compton Belovich, was absolutely glowing at microwave wavelengths. The data revealed a silicone-rich surface feature approximately 20 kilometers wide, believed to be the caldera of an ancient volcano. This area exhibited temperatures about 10 degrees Celsius warmer than its surroundings. Notably, this heat is not due to current volcanic activity, as the last eruption occurred around 3.5 billion years ago. Instead, the heat emanates from radioactive elements trapped within the granite mass. We interpret this heat flux as resulting from a radiogenic rich granite body below the caldera. This finding is significant because granite formation typically requires water and plate tectonics, conditions absent on the moon. The presence of such a large granite deposit suggests that the moon's geological history may be more complex than previously understood. If you don't have water, it takes extreme situations to make granite. So here's this system with no water and no plate tectonics, and you have granite, right? Well, guess what? That's because the moon used to be a water planet, dodo. It was a water planet called Tiamat. Forget what the flat earthers tell you about the fucking waters above the firmament. It ain't got nothing to do with flat earth. Waters above the firmament is the water above the asteroid belt that came down from the water rushing down from Tiamat when it was destroyed. That's what caused the flood that everyone talks about. Granted, is there because the moon, we are a moon of the moon. The moon is not a moon of us. The moon was a planet, and Earth was one of its moons. Now, because it's just a, hollow husk, barren piece of rock, and we like to think that the moon is a moon of Earth. That's not, it's the other way around. The moon was a moon of this other planet, Tiamat, before it got destroyed. It just appears to us, and we believe that the moon, our moon, is a moon of Earth. It's just not the case. But and the reason we know this too is because of the geosynchronistic orbit. Our moon actually our Earth actually orbits the moon like it's a satellite. But of course, none of that can be revealed. I never quite figured out. I think it just has to do with our where we come from, who we are in general. But yeah, they really want to keep that Tiamat thing under wraps. The fact that the moon used to be a planet, that's just something they really don't want people to know about. It's fascinating. Oh, yeah. This is it, so you'll never hear about this. Researchers create groundbreaking technology to revert cancer cells into normal cells. Well, guess what? Remember that I told you about this, and in a few years when you never hear about this, go, whatever happened to that way that Josh Reeves was talking about the first show of 2025 that time? They said they found a way to reverse cancer cells to their normal state. Oh, yeah, you never heard of it. We never got it because you're never going to get this. Researchers have developed a new groundbreaking technology that can convert some cancer cells into a state that resembles normal cells without killing them. Listen, guys, do you have any idea how much money they spend every year for you to not find out certain things exist? They've had cold fusion, free energy. They've had the fucking oil and gas industry has lobbied billions of dollars through the years to keep the free energy technology on the shelf. The medical industrial complex spends billions every year to make sure that if someone finds a groundbreaking, see, they're other than finding new things they can charge money for, the medical industrial complex is just fine right where they're at. They really are. It was interesting when I was in the hospital because I got to really experience both ends of it. Meaning, I got to experience some doctors and nurses that, they know. They're not stupid. They know they're pimps and pushers for the drug companies. And then there's other ones that don't have any idea and they don't have any interest in knowing. They don't want to know. Even if you could prove to them beyond any shadow of a doubt they are a pimp and a pusher for the drug companies, they don't want to know. They're happy with their job. They're happy with their life. They don't want you to tell them. And I experienced doctors and nurses of both kinds when I was in the hospital. Oh, yeah. And boy, let me tell you something. The ones that are pimps and pushers for the drug companies, they don't like it when you demonstrate to them that you know your shit. They don't like it. Some of them do. Like I said, I experienced both. I experienced some doctors that were happy and impressed and glad that they have a patient that knows what they're talking about, is not a complete dumbass. And then the other ones, you could tell almost immediately, oh, they don't like this. They don't. In fact, they count on their customers not being on their patients not being informed. Doctors count on their patients not. They count on that. I realized that after being in the hospital. I was, oh, these guys count on ignorance. They want people to not know, so they'll just give consent for any old thing to these doctors. And I would not give consent. They wanted to give me, all kinds of crazy shit. And no, I'm not going to take that. One doctor asked me, I told him point blank, I said, look, for anything that it was the same thing when I was in there in 2020. It was over this injection they had to give you in your stomach for blood clots. So I wasn't suffering from blood clots. And I wasn't suffering from anything where blood clots would be an issue. So there was no reason for me to take this injection. Last time I was in there in 2020, they did the same thing to me with the same thing. And I said, no, I'm not going to take that. Because I've never had a blood clot in my life. I'm not suffering from anything or any condition where blood clots would be an issue. This is just something else y'all can charge me for, and I'm not going to do it. And the nurse even said, okay, that's fine, that's your right, Because the other ones previously did not say that. They weren't cool about it. They didn't say, hey, wait, that's fine. You don't have, that's your right to refuse this. They were basically making me feel like, no, you have to take this. There was another medicine another pill they were trying to give me when I was in the, I can't remember what it was. It was something dumb, something not related to heart failure. So it was something else, I can't remember. But I was just like, no, I refused it. Like, no, I'm not going to take that. Why? Why do I need to take that? So you guys can get me hooked on it while I'm in here, and then when I get out of here, my body still needs that. If you don't think about that drugs have that effect, because they just think of drugs as medicine and drugs as drugs are bad, whatever. Folks, in case you haven't figured this out, and from most people that I've talked to have not, listen. You know how people get addicted to things like OxyContin and stuff like that, and hydrocodone? Well, I got a newsflash for you. Guess why that is? Well, we know why that is, but guess what else? I can also do that to drugs that are designed to help you. Your body can get used to drugs that are designed to help you, and then when your body starts working okay on its own and you don't take them again, your body gets addicted to that drug and needs it just like it would need OxyContin or hydrocodone or anything else. Yeah, They don't tell you that. It's true. So yeah, I had to watch out for that too while I was in there because a lot of people don't understand that, and I didn't until the first time I was in there in 2020. That when you get admitted to the hospital like that, it is a weird thing. Twice they've done that to me now, where you go to the emergency room and you go, okay, clearly something's wrong with me here. And they don't even ask you. It's weird. They don't even ask you, okay, would you like us to admit you to the hospital now? They just admit you to the hospital. They just put you in there. Start doing stuff to you. It's really interesting. But what I've noticed is that they try to get your body, unbeknownst to you, dependent upon these drugs. Like for me, it's the ones to make my heart beat better. But last time my heart started beating better on its own after I got off the medicine, and I was fine for 4 years. But they were telling me those medicines I was on, I should have been on all this. Well, once my prescriptions ran out, I can't get more. You need to go to the cardiologist. Well, I can't afford regular cardiologist visits. I can't do that. I was in the hospital in 2020. I started taking better care of myself. Things did get better. But then, Bidenomics kicked in. And that's when it really started to go downhill for me. And I was, made 32 films. 2024, just trying to stay alive. I'm trying to do the same thing now. $900 by Monday that we have to raise, guys. Dayglow76 at yahoo.com on PayPal. Reeves Radio, all lowercase, one word. Reeves Radio on the Cash App. Capital J, Josh, dash, capital R, Reeves, dash 61 on Venmo. All you can do is buy downloads. Just do that, okay? The Police Act between now and Monday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, okay? So we have to have by. And like I said, I'm just trying to keep myself alive from this heart failure. And, I really do believe things are going to get better. Trump doesn't get inaugurated until January 20th. So I do think the economy is going to improve. You guys are going to be back to having the amount of money you had last time. So when things do get better, don't forget to come back and done it like you used to also, okay? Every year I'm on taxes, just somebody writes me, hey, I'm getting my tax return, I'm going to make a big donation. And they never do. It's funny. Every single year without fail. So I'm sure that's coming. I didn't even hear about this. No, well, let me see it. I didn't hear about this until today. So apparently there was a terrorist attack. They were like army guys. There's that guy that blew up shot himself in the head and then blew up a Cybertruck. I didn't even hear about this. then apparently there was two of them. There was one in New Orleans too. And guess what? It's already come out on this. Wow. Didn't even take me digging into this shit for this to come out. Turns out these guys were both former PSYOPs unit guys. I mean, we pretty much closed the books on that one, right? The men behind the shocking explosion of a Cybertruck outside Trump Hotel in Las Vegas and the terrorist truck attack in New Orleans have a curious link. Green Beret Matthew Lebelsberger, 37, whose Tesla vehicle rained fireworks and steel shrapnel outside the hotel, and Army veteran Shasmuddin Bahar Jabbar, who killed 14 people with his truck, both worked at U.S. military's Fort Bragg. Fort Bragg, now known as Fort Liberty, is home to the 4th Psychological Operations Group, POG, which conducts influence activities to target psychological vulnerabilities and create or intensify fissures, confusion, and doubt in adversary organizations. Wait a minute. 2 bombings, both these guys confirmed PSYOPs guys? I mean, again, do we need to even go any further with this? Or we can fucking close the books on that one. We use all available means of dissemination, from sensitive and high-tech to low-tech to no-tech, and methods from overt to clandestine to deception. After the 10-day assessment, soldiers are put through 41 weeks of physically and mentally demanding training, says the PSYOP qualification course. Oh, shit. The last few months see soldiers learn how to use propaganda and other methods to influence the thoughts, emotions, and behaviors of a target audience, often in enemy territory. Often, but oftentimes on American soil, too. These guys were trained PSYOPs guys. And the one guy that blew up the Tesla was a drone guy. All this stuff going on with the drones, huh? And this guy just decides to off himself like that, huh? Wow. You're telling me that 2 men who worked at the same army base went and rented trucks from the same rental company and committed horrible acts on the same day within hours apart, and that's just a total coincidence? Yeah, exactly. I mean, 2025 already starting off to the bang and starting. Look, I've already told you how this year's going to go. It's going to be, it's only going to go one of 2 ways. It's going to be a great year for you. It's going to be a great year for me. Things are going to be way better for us this year than they have in the last few years. Or, that's scenario number 1. Or, the world's going to come to an end and we're all going to die and it's not going to matter anyway. That's really, I believe that. That's the 2 scenarios that's going to play out this year. It's either going to be a way better year for me, for you, for all of us than the last few years have been. And I do believe that will happen. Or solar flares, fucking, who knows. We'll always watch my film Armageddon 2025 I put out last year. One of those, something's going to happen and the whole world's going to come to an end anyway and it's not going to matter. I like those odds, actually. I do. I like that. If the world comes to an end, hell, it's not going to matter because we're all going to be dead anyway, so who cares, right? I've been saying that for a long time here on the show. Hey, Apocalypse. Shit or get off the pot, motherfucker. I've been saying that for so many years now. You get tired of hearing about the end of the world. You get tired of hearing about the apocalypse. Shit or get off the pot, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Do it or shut the fuck up about it. But I made that film I made last year, Armageddon 2025, because of the amount of predictions that people were saying the world could come to an end in 2025, from solar flares to, all these wild scenarios, another pandemic. It's crazy. So, it's either going to be a good year for you, it's going to be a good year for me, or it's not going to matter anyway. Family of Cybertruck bomber Matthew Livelsberger say he was skilled enough to take down the entire Trump hotel. Again, psyops. I mean, this is 100% got to be the Biden administration running psyops on their way out just weeks before Trump's inaugurated as president. I mean, that's what I think it is. Having it outside the Trump hotel. It's both these guys, two different cities. Again, he's both use the same company to rent the car. They did all the exact same stuff, and they both came out of Fort Bragg psyops. Give me a fucking break. Doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure out what's going on with that. No question about it. Man. Got a polar vortex on the way, too. Jesus Christ. So, on top of everything else, I got to worry about not freezing to death next week also. Great. Already trying to not starve to death, not be homeless, not be on the street, not lose my work and my business, not die from heart failure. Now I have to worry about not freezing to death next week. Jesus Christ. I've got another film to go finish. Volume 3 of my new Rise of the New Age series. I need to go work on that and finish that and get that out. So if you haven't got the first two parts, the Lemurians and then part 2, both which are out of the download store, Blavatsky and Theosophy, go get a download so I can have a meal to eat tonight, okay? Please. And we've got to raise $900 by Monday. Dayglow76 at yahoo.com on PayPal. Reeves Radio, all lowercase, one word. Reeves Radio on the Cash App. Keppel J, Josh, Keppel R, Reeves, 61 on Venmo. Patreon.com/Reeves Mafia to hear all the weekly shows. Join us on Patreon. And you can find links to the download store and all that stuff in the comment section of all my videos on YouTube. And if all you can do is buy downloads, just do that, okay? You can get the Class of 2024 collection. You get all the films I made in 2024 for only $10 each. Do that, alright? I love you guys. Don't let us die. Don't let me die. We're going to raise this by Monday. I need everybody to act right now. Take care.